Though Kofi returned to the village feeling careful, the shadows of the forest had left a frightening mark on him. Little did he know, the whispering shadows had not forgotten him. Their eerie whispers would soon call him again. A year passed since Kofi's terrifying encounter with the whispering shadows. The villagers told scary stories about the forest, and Kofi became a storyteller, warning the children about the dangers lurking in the dark. But as the harvest festival approached, a dangerous curiosity stirred in him once more. The villagers talked about a special night, a full moon shining brightly, making strange shadows dance among the trees. Kofi felt torn between staying safe in the village and the haunting pool of the woods, where the shadows whispered secrets only he had heard. On festival nights, the village buzzed with excitement, but fear lingered in the air. Laughter filled the night, but Kofi could feel the forest calling him, its dark allure tempting him again. Just a quick look, he told himself, glancing at the bright moon. I'll see what the shadows are doing. I'll be back before anyone notices. With a heart full of brave defiance, Kofi slipped into the forest, the trees looming above him like giant watchers. As he went deeper, the whispers started again, sharper and more urgent. Reaching the old tree from before, Kofi was hit by a terrifying sight. The shadows had gathered for a dark celebration, swirling around the tree like thick fog, their shapes flickering in the moonlight. The air grew heavy, filled with a chilling dread that made him shiver. Join us, Kofi, the shadows called, their voices echoing like a haunting song. Tonight, we celebrate the bond between our worlds. We can show you wonders beyond your imagination. Kofi hesitated, remembering the fear he had felt before. But the dark pool urged him to come closer. What wonders, he whispered, his voice trembling. Knowledge, power, freedom, they hissed, their eyes glowing like fire. We can give you the ability to control the forest, to speak to spirits, to find hidden paths. All we ask is that you spend one night with us. Kofi's heart raced, the temptation wrapped around him like a snake. He thought of all he could achieve, how he could finally escape Zoe's shadow and be someone important. But deep down, a warning rang in his mind. I can't, Kofi stuttered, stepping back, panic rising. I promised to respect the elders' wisdom. The shadows grew restless, swirling around him like a storm. You think their wisdom will protect you? You are one of us now. You cannot escape what you have awakened. As the shadows surged toward him, Kofi felt the weight of his past mistakes pressing down. He remembered the fear and sadness of those lost to the darkness. Summoning his courage, he shouted, I choose the light. I choose my village. In that moment, a bright light burst from within him, shining like a beacon. The shadows recoiled, their whispers turning into wails of anger. Kofi felt their cold presence pushing against him, threatening to pull him in, but he stood firm, gathering all his strength. Leave me, he shouted, his voice cutting through the dark. I will not be your vessel. The shadows twisted and writhed, their forms becoming frightening and grotesque. As the moon reached its peak, Kofi felt the power of the night surge through him, awakening an ancient strength he never knew he had. With a final cry, he directed the light toward the shadows. You are not my masters. You are lost souls seeking help. The shadows paused, their movement slowing at his words. Slowly, their anger faded, replaced by deep sorrow. Kofi watched as their shapes changed, revealing the faces of those who once belonged to the village, lost loved ones trapped by their own choices. Help us, one shadow whispered, its voice filled with hope. Guide us back to the light. Kofi felt a rush of compassion mixed with fear. If you want to leave this place, you must let go of your anger and embrace the light again. As the moonlight surrounded them, the shadows began to dissolve, breaking apart into sparkling bits that danced in the air. Kofi stood in awe, feeling their sorrow lift, replaced by a strange peace. But just as he thought it was over, a cold wind blew through the clearing, and a voice chilled him to the bone. "Your choice is not finished, Kofi." He turned, heart pounding, as the shadows reformed, their eyes glowing with anger. "You cannot escape us. We will always be waiting." When dawn broke through the trees, Kofi found himself alone at the ancient tree, forever changed by the experience. He had faced the darkness within himself, but the shadows were still out there, lurking beyond the light. Returning to the village, he shared his story, not just of the whispering shadows, but of redemption and the power of choice. The villagers listened closely, their eyes wide with fear and understanding. From that day on, Kofi became a guardian of the forest and its dark secrets, teaching others to respect the balance between light and darkness. The whispers of the shadows still lingered in the air, serving as haunting reminders of the dangers that thrived in the night. And in the heart of Nyambani village, the tale of Kofi and the whispering shadows became a chilling lesson for all, warning them that some choices come with a price, and that the darkness is always waiting for the brave and foolish alike.